Alright, so we've got the 2018 Samsung QLED Q9F. It is wall mounted with a no gap wall mount, and I've got it on retail mode right now just to show you a little bit of the best this TV can offer. Probably tough to see from the video alone, but the colors are absolutely brilliant. Contrast is amazing. You can see those deep dark blacks right next to the colors and the whites. It is a phenomenal picture. So I'm just going to let this run through just so you can kind of see a little bit more of the demo, and then I'll go through the setup. And as you can kind of see, when the picture's not incredibly bright like it usually is, you'll see the background that I've got this mounted on. It's kind of a painted mortar, and so I'm really looking forward to testing the ambient mode out just to see if I can match the color and texture appearance of the background. So we'll get into that just a little bit later. Now what you're seeing here is 4K imaging HDR from Samsung, so this is kind of as good a picture as you can get on this set. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and show you. We've got a very slight gap, but the Samsung very slight gap wall mount doesn't exactly have the same ring to it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the setup. Alright, so here we are in the setup mode. It's asking you right off the bat to download the Samsung Smartthings app, but it also gives you the option of setting things up on the television. So I'm going to go through setting it up through the television, just because I'm recording with my phone right now.
Please select your language. The
Alright, now this TV, just like last year's model, it automatically detects what is plugged in to the HDMI ports, and I haven't finished setting up my AV system yet, so it's not really going to detect much connected to mine. Alright, now it asks you, after you've signed into your Wi-Fi, it asks you to sign into your Samsung account. All right, so we've got it all set up, and I'm just highlighting one of the things. The Samsung Q9F also has a Smartthings Hub built into it, so it's able to detect all of your smart home devices. Like you can see right here, it automatically detected that I have a Samsung robot vacuum. It's charging, and so I can actually go in here and start my vacuum from my television. So that's just another feature that you've got. All right, we've got the Stephen King's It playing right now on the 2018 Q9F. This is in Ultra HD. It's streaming from Vudu, so you're going to get a little bit of decreased quality in the image and audio versus a 4K Blu-ray, but it'll still give you an idea of the clarity and contrast and brightness of the television. Very difficult to actually see, kind of compare this by looking at it from a video. You really have to be in person, but it is phenomenal quality. It's got a great contrast. You can see, you know, even the 2017 Q9F, because of the different zones of the edge-lit display, you could turn off the television could turn off the upper and lower zones for the letterbox, the black bars on the top and the bottom. So it really, you know, it's very similar. You can get that contrast between the bars. Now, as you can see here, you still get a little bit of a glare. One of the selling points of this television was an anti-reflective coating. It is, you can tell a little bit of a difference between this and the 2017 version, but as you can see right now, there's still a bit of a glare from the room light and the reflection off the window. So it's not perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this and show you the ambient mode right now, because as you can see right now, I've got this television wall mounted with a no gap display, and the fireplace surround is sort of a painted mortar, so it's got a very different texture and color. So I was really looking forward to testing out the ambient mode with this background on it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right now and switch to that. All right, so here we've got it in ambient mode. There's several different displays that you can have within ambient mode. This is just a kind of an image of a mountain range, but you can see from the top and the bottom that it appears semi-translucent as you get closer to the top and bottom of the image. And this is actually the best rendering of ambient mode that I could get with this television. The pattern is actually pretty good. It really does match the surrounding, but any of the other ambient mode displays, I could never get the color to match quite right. You have a little bit of play in that within the Smartthings app, you can adjust the brightness and a little bit of the color of the display, but I could never get it right. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you that right now. So this is another cool portion of the ambient mode. So you can see it's just sort of a clock that you know, with the marbles that spin around. But right here, it just, the color doesn't quite match. It's always a little bit lighter, and I've got this set to the darkest that it will go. And I've played around with the color, I've played around with the brightness, and you can just never get it to match quite right. But you know, in Samsung's defense, their ambient mode part of the Smartthings app is in beta. It's not completely fine-tuned yet. So I think that as time goes on and they develop the app a little bit more, you'll be able to get a little bit better of a match. One of the other kind of drawbacks is you have to take the picture of the surrounding area within the app itself. I think if you could upload an image, it would really, you could do all that color play, alter the color a little bit beforehand in whatever editing app you choose. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the other options that you have. So there's this right here, which is just sort of a non-static water display. This actually looks pretty good as well. You can kind of see the background within it. So it's when you have a art or a moving display like this, it sort of masks the fact that the color of the background isn't quite right. So it still looks pretty good. So I'll show you the other ones as well. This is pretty cool. It doesn't really show much as far as the background. It's just another type of ambient mode display, and you can change what it displays at the very top. Right now, it's got the time, date, weather, and news, and you can change that on the bottom. So I'll kind of show you right that. You can change it to a clock, and everything's kind of mobile in the background. It really looks nice. And so Samsung has done a pretty good job of actually making ambient mode something that you would want to display instead of just a completely black screen. So here are other options here. And you can put whatever pictures that you want. If you want to put pictures of your family, pictures of anything that you have, you can send to the TV through the Smartthings app. One picture, two pictures, and this is the first one that we did here, the mountain range. So you can kind of see the background, and then when it displays the image on top, it really kind of hides the fact that the color is just not quite right.